A screenplay or script is a written work by screenwriters for a film, television program, or video game. These screenplays can be original works or adaptations from existing pieces of writing. In them, the movement, actions, expression, and dialogue of the characters are also narrated. The screenplay acts as a blueprint for all involved in a production. It is the building plan, the key layout of how everything will come together. A screenplay includes the dialogue of all the characters, the movement, place setting, description, acting styles, and style indications. Crucially, a screenplay might often also include certain filmmaking techniques, instructions for camera operators to follow. A screenplay has certain elements. These are the unique margin, case, position, attributes that give feature film scripts, text, the format and consistency expected by all participants. Screenplays were once typed on manual typewriters, and to this day their formatting is that simple. Screenplays are printed in 12-point Courier on US letter paper. There are only 6 types of paragraph in a screenplay: scene heading, action, character, parenthetical, dialogue, transition. We call these elements, and here is what they look like. Each element has a standard format, including margins and text styling. Our first element is scene heading. The first screenplay element is scene heading, also known as slugline. Scene headings mark any change in location in your screenplay. Every scene begins with one. It tells the reader of the script whether the scene takes place inside or outside, where exactly it takes place. Are we indoors, often shortened as INT, or outdoors, often shortened as EXT? Next, the name of the location, namely the bedroom, living room, baseball field, inside a car, etc., follows. And lastly, it might include the time of the day, like night, day, dusk, dawn, and other such information to set the scene in the reader's mind. EXT stands for exterior. To create a scene heading in a software, just begin a new line with one of the common scene heading prefixes. INT or EXT is often used for scenes in vehicles. Not all scene headings begin in the same way. Some are short and punchy, a quick reminder of when and where we are. For example, back in the warehouse is one such case. Scene headings are always shown in uppercase. As you create them, the software handles this for you. Action. Action is the catch-all element of screenwriting. It is where you tell the reader what happens on the screen. The action or description sets the scene, describes the setting, and allows you to introduce your characters and set the stage for your story. Action is written in real time. Action runs from left to right margin with full width of text on page, the same as the scene heading. Be sure to use the word wrap function of your script writing software to make editing and rewriting easy. Text is single spaced and in mixed case. Here, sitting at a desk, fingers tap dancing, looking at the clock are all actions done by the character Rufus. Character. Character elements are always in uppercase and are followed by dialogue immediately. If you type a line entirely in uppercase, the software generally assumes that you have typed a character and will set you to begin a typing dialogue when you press return or enter button. If that's not what you want, just press return or enter button again. Generally, software remembers your character names and will suggest them to you if you begin typing them at the start of a new line. The character name is formatted in uppercase letters and indented at 3.5 inches from the left margin. Here the character is Theodore, written in uppercase, followed immediately by a dialogue. Dialogue. Dialogue comes right after the character. Dialogue rules apply when anyone on screen speaks. During a conversation between characters, when a character talks out loud to himself, even B when a character is off screen and only a voice is heard. All of these are considered to be dialogues. Dialogue margin is intended at 2.5 inches from the left margin. A line of dialogue can be from 30 spaces to 35 spaces long, so the right margin is a bit more flexible, usually 2 inches to 2.5 inches. Here we see that the line placed after the character names like Michelle, Jim, Tracy are their respective dialogues. Parenthetical elements are often wrapped in parentheses and follow a character or dialogue element. Parentheses are often left indented at 3 inches and the right margin is 3.5 inches, although that is a bit flexible. As seen in our examples, parenthetical remark is not centered under the character name. Parenthetical remark can be an attitude, verbal direction, or action, direction for the actor who is speaking the part. Parentheticals should be short, to the point, descriptive, and used absolutely when necessary. These days, parentheticals are generally disfavored because they give directions to the actor that might not be appropriate once you are in the set. Transition. Transitions are often used to indicate special information and how one scene transitions into another. They are not as common as they once were, but they are still very useful. Transitions are uppercase in most cases and usually end in to. If you want a transition that doesn't end in to, begin the line with a greater than symbol. You can do this easily by placing the cursor on the line you wish to transform into a transition and choose Format, and then go forward to choose Force Transition from the drop down menu. When you do use a transition, the left margin is at 6.5 inches and the right margin is at 1 inch. Transitions are formatted in all capital letters and almost always follow an action and precede scene headings. Familiar transitions include cut to, dissolve to, smash cut, quick cut, fade to, and fade out. However, one should never use fade out at the end of the script.